Yo, what up? It's Doe Nut, and you tuning in to all your Illuminati news. In today's video, we're going to go over the portal rituals that are happening right now, the Sanpaku eyes, and much, much more. This is the big story, another Hollywood tragic event that goes down in Mystery Babylon. And the Sanpaku eyes are very, you know, out there. This is a topic that we've covered here on the channel, one of the first to do it, sort of like the Mountain Dew conspiracy. In the Sanpaku eye, we've been showing the three whites, and when they're underneath, this shows distress. And I've been saying that these eye symbolisms that are on the mainstream media of the eyes popping out, or the Sanpaku of the three whites underneath or above, means something symbolic on the world stage. These are known as the crazy eyes, which has been a popular topic, but y'all know we be covering it first here. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and share the video out. So this is a very strange story that's breaking. Here's the mainstream leftist media called the Drudge Report, showing the top thing about this guy, Nick. Plus you also have another Nick here saying Trump's evil. And we're coming up on Christmas with Saint Nick. So I believe that's sort of part of the story, symbolically, etymology, phonetically, in the world stage. But this guy's very famous. His name's Rob Reiner. He's so famous. His son Nick deleted him and his wife right before President Obama was supposed to hang out with him. So we're going to go over the different symbols on the world stage. All these symbols mean something. And also go over the news with the Bermuda Triangle as well. That's in the news. Right here, the Obamas were supposed to meet with Rob and Michelle Reiner on the night of their death. The Obamas were supposed to see Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer this day that they were killed. I mean, that's pretty big. Like, that's not just like someone who's not famous. That's a political connection there. And remember Leave the World Behind when that movie came out? That was put on by the Obamas, and then the star of the movie, his boyfriend, died, the famous guy from the show Friends. We covered that. Part of the portal ritual as well with the bathtub, although it was a hot tub, but it was still submerged underwater. The call happened at 3:30, 3:30. We've seen the 33s pop up. California sues Trump administration over 33 million today. But I think that is so strange. Here's more Sanpaku eye. So this movie, Leave the World Behind, we covered it very heavily. There's the Masonic checkerboards, which is actually a Knights Templar symbol. If we go back further, how she's watching Friends and the star of Friends passed away, Matt Man, in the tub, saying cryptic messages in his tweets. So I think there's a lead here with these rituals. And we can go all the way back to movies. I think that Sunset Boulevard is a kind of a soft disclosure of kind of exposing some of the rituals. It starts off with the pool drowning ritual. And then, just like in this tragic case, they got the whole Hollywood out front of their house with their cameras ready, just like the ending of Sunset Boulevard. Here's a Templar secret society called the Order of the Solar Temple, which I just learned about on the Matt Ehret podcast we did on the Order of the Garter. And I was like, man, that looks like the Taylor Swift right there. TS, Taylor Swift. So I pulled up Taylor Swift, and she's got the exact symbol of the Taylor Swift is the Order of the Solar Temple. As you can see, it's the exact same of the phallic going into the female genitalia. That's the symbol of the Prioria Scion, which 21 Savage also uses as well. So these artists on the world stage are very political. So politics plays a huge role because the ideologies is how you can kind of see how the control system works and things that don't make sense on the world stage. Like, why is the left and the right aligned on major issues? Well, that's because they're ideologically aligned for the new theocracy. Well, actually, it's old, but they want the old theocracy system of, rule to take over America. Those are pretty much fascism. It's the fascism, the fascists. So this kid, Nick, has the Sanpaku eyes, which is the three whites underneath. It's a Japanese term. And this doesn't mean like you're a bad person or a good person. Everyone has this. If you're really stressed out and distressed, you have this. I'm just saying on the world stage, it seems like he probably has the all around Sanpaku eye. But it means something. And these are the three whites at the top. And you'll see a lot of these podcasters, they put it in their thumbnails. It's symbolic. I don't think that most of them know what they're doing. Maybe it's subconscious. But yeah, when it's down here, like Marilyn Monroe, or even shout out to Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney, she got the Sanpaku down below. But this guy, you could like he just looks like he's ready to snap. And this girl, she's breaking in the news now. White House Chief of Staff sounds off score settling behind prosecutions. Vance conspiracy theorist. Bondi whiffed Vanity Fair bombshell report where she's exposing Trump as well. So a lot of stuff with Trump. Saint Nicholas, right? Saint Nick being the devil. Watch the satanic Santa video that we did. Pretty good, but the devil. And I guess Harry means the devil too. And there's guys connected to When Harry Met Sally, I think that name is. That was a good movie. But these symbols mean something. So right here, this is a symbol where you're pointing the finger up, and you'll see a lot of new, like, people that are, I don't even know what their term is, but they say they're conservative and they put the finger up like this. They're so unaware of what it means. So here's another symbol. And I learned that from Jordan Maxwell. He just showed all the symbols of the Bellamy salute. This is how America used to do their Pledge of Allegiance. And you got to be more like this guy right here. Doesn't follow the socialist crowd, because the ideologies of everyone doing the Bellamy salute right here, they're socialist. So that's an ideology. So you got to understand the ideologies to understand what's going on in the world. And also the symbolism, where you got this triad claw. You see this like all over the place. It means something. I don't know what it means, but it's a secret society symbol. Like, there's a reason why the top podcasters do this in their pictures. even when it comes to corporations, with the sun rising over the mountain, the Twin Peaks and the sun. So the new Verizon logo is the ancient symbol of the Aket, which is the one world religion symbol, or the rise of communism or socialism or fascism. It's like all pretty much all the same. It all leads to the same thing. And right here is the sun. It's just a different angle of the sun rising over the Twin Peaks, over the mountain. So the symbols are all over the place. But yeah, that's a very interesting story. I haven't even read much about it. I'm just giving you right off the top of the dome what where my thoughts go. And I'll be definitely looking more into these rituals of what's going on. So the FBI has arrested 4 members of a radical group plotting to do evil on New Year's Eve. And these radical groups, you can see they're funded by anti-free market, anti-America stuff. So that's just another ideology. What's the ideology? It's all connected to the sun rising over the mountain, socialism stuff. I think that stuff's fascinating. I'm not sure if you guys think that stuff's fascinating, but I do, because it's a big part of mind control operations. And here is the Bermuda Triangle in the news. They're talking about Turtle Island, which Turtle Island is what America used to be called, because it was a big turtle on the map. But here's the Bermuda Triangle. It's actually not a triangle. It's the Devil's Triangle. They also call it the Devil's Triangle, but it's a trapezoid. So it's technically not a triangle. It's a trapezoid. The Devil's Trapezoid. Where there's a vortex there, a vortices of a portal where flights go missing, submarines go missing. And this is probably where octopuses came through from the future. Bermuda Triangle waters are hiding a mysterious giant structure that's unlike anything else on Earth. This report just came out. Here it is. They're just showing they're doing these wave experiments with earthquakes. It's way too wicked smart for me. I don't understand what the heck they're talking about, but they're doing these wave research. This is what they're also doing at CERN, is the wave research underneath the water. But the Bermuda's waters are hiding a mysterious giant structure that's unlike anything else on Earth. And we've been diving deep into the Sargasso Sea of the Bermuda Triangle and its connections to Atlantis, reading the Closer Encounters book. And Edgar Casey, he said that the Atlantis, the lost civilization of Atlantis, was where the Bermuda Triangle was. And that's why Ghislaine Maxwell went there, trying to figure that stuff out. It's all connected to Atlantis. But the real Atlantis, I guess, is in Antarctica, where the socialists were going, to New Schwabenland. And Charles Fort spoke about the superorganism coming out of the Sargasso Sea. So he was talking about this Bermuda Triangle in the 1800s when it was called the Sargasso Sea. So there was still strange anomalies there all the time that's connected to portals. And I think that this portal ritual is very much connected, as we just saw the Zac Brown band do their portal ritual And I said it's a portal ritual because symbolically it's a portal ritual. People were very upset that I didn't call it a satanic ritual because, sure, it's satanic, sure, whatever you want to call it. I'm showing the symbols. The door is the portal. That's what it means. So it's like I'm labeling what the ritual is about. The ritual is about the doorway, the gateway, the portal. So here's Stranger Things. They just released this episode today, and they're showing the door, and the door is the portal. And this is what they were showing at the Zach Brown band. So you got to bring it back to the etymology and what these rituals are about. And I mean, we're coming up into January, and even Janus, right? For January is the doorway. It's the portal. Janis Joplin drowning. But even when Harry met Sally, the guy's like married to a Janus, so I'm sure there might be a connection there. But yeah, isn't that interesting? I think that's interesting. Maybe it's not interesting. I think it's interesting. So Bob, right? Bob means the doorway or a portal. That's where you get Bob-o-lon. Bob is the doorway or the portal. Even the owls in Twin Peaks is connected to Bob and Bob-o-lon and doorways and portals. And I'm getting this information off of Closer Encounters book that we read over on the member site. You can check out more about that over there. But in Twin Peaks, the guy that is an owl shapeshifter, his name's Bob. And that it goes into the portals and stuff like that. I'll get to that in a little bit, though. Let's get back to the octopus, because the octopus is very interesting. The octopus, they are very intelligent, highly intelligent. They can escape their laboratories. They can walk on the ground. We saw this in The Octopus Teacher. And they even not only change color, unlike a chameleon takes time. The octopus is the ultimate like shapeshifter. And each one of its tentacles has its own brain. And they can get resentments in a sense, or like certain different people in their precognitive sentience, where they can actually predict future events. And they have friends where they'll give you props. They'll be like, "What's up, dog?" Give you props, you know? So the octopus, they're very interesting. Very interesting. But they're very similar to the owl, to the mantis, to these different changing stuff. And now this is super important when it comes to the symbolism of the elite. When we were reading The Economist magazine, The World Ahead, in 2020 during the lockdowns, very important year, they talked about the importance of these octopuses coming from Europa. But what if they're coming out of the Bermuda Triangle through a vortex, through this doorway, gateway portal? Shout out to Devlin up in the house. As much love from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. Hope all is well with you and Chan. Yes, we're doing really good. We're doing really good. Lighting the Hanukkah menorah. Let me see where my Hanukkah. I have a plasma. I upgraded to a plasma Hanukkah menorah. Let me see where I put that. Let me find it because it's pretty sick. It's pretty dope. Oh, here it is. Tell me what you think about my plasma ancient tech menorah. So it's not even fire. I'm using straight plasma in the lighting. Super ancient tech. But so Stranger Things is coming out, and Stranger Things, that whole movie is about this octopus alien. It's not only about the octopus alien, it's about the portals. The whole freaking show is about the secret CIA operations with MK Ultra, mind control, and these different type of project viewing and all this different stuff. And the thing that gets summoned is this Cthulhu octopus looking creature in it. So this is very symbolic, and this is all being all released, the gateway portal, for Christmas time, for Saint Nick. For so I think that there's a connection to it all. But like I said, I'm just kind of going off the fly here on what's breaking today, what I'm seeing in the Illuminati news, because all these stories break at once, and I think that they're all interconnected. North Atlantic warning: Orcas now targeting commercial vessels in what experts call coordinated assaults. Even the octopus does coordinated assaults, which is quite interesting because people believe that the octopus is like a solo creature who just kicks it by himself, but they recruit fish into their army. And here's part of their dominance hierarchy. The octopus is a predator and enjoys wrestling matches. And they recruit their own fish and they wrestle and they take down different sharks. So they wicked smart. They'll slap the stupid fish. So start working for the octopus. And so I guess we're seeing that happen with these orcas. They're doing these coordinated attacks. Ships crossing the North Atlantic now face a new unsettling concern: highly intelligent predators learning unfamiliar tricks near busy routes. What started as a few strange incidents near Europe's coast has grown into a pattern that worries scientists, insurers, and ship crews alike. Orcas, long admired as a striking symbol of wild oceans, now appear to be testing and sometimes disabling commercial vessels in ways that look disturbingly organized. That's the organized mafia of the orcas. And wait till them dolphins organize and come out of the Pacific Ocean and take over Springfield. Inside Candace: sadistic and dangerous world monetizing baseless conspiracies, by the New York Post. Hey, to be fair, the New York Post does the same thing. The New York Post posts nothing but false evidence conspiracy theories all day long and monetizes it, and monetizes on very sad events and sadistic events. So, I mean, New York Post is projecting, but also Candace is monetized for talking about all this stuff. So these fake beefs that you see with her and everybody's fighting each other, right? That's a advertising strategy called cross-pollination to help grow ideas. And people have been doing this since Barney and whatever the other person is called, the magician shows that they used to do back in the day, and the rappers took it on. It's in the 48 laws of power. And that's what is like a blueprint for narcissists, because the narcissists focus on the will to power. It's all about power. And that is what's happening with all these fake generated beefs that are happening. So don't be distracted, and just, that's what I've been doing, to try to stay sane as I try not to engage with this stuff as much, because you just waste time watching other people's Jerry Springer drama. So I've been picking up them books and reading, and one of my next projects, I'm working on a few projects, but my next project for Patreon will be probably on the subversive marketing techniques of mind control in advertising and how that bleeds out into the influencer podcast realm. The Trump era is ending. So this girl with the crazy eyes, she's dissing Trump, and everybody is going out, like, all right there seems to be something going on with the Knicks and Trumps and ending the Trump era. And who released this was a leftist magazine, Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair broke this bombshell report. Susie Wiles talks the files. Oh, damn, that rhymes right there. That go hard. Susie Wiles talks the files. Pete Hegseth, War Tactics, Retribution and More, Part 2. But Vanity Fair has had a long history of beef with Trump, tons of Ivanka Trump disses in it. It's Vogue magazine, Vanity Fair, the whole Kardashian bloodline has been against Trump, even though Kanye's like, oh, I'm friends with him, but he ran against him. So like, and then his his Caitlyn-in-law says, oh, I like Trump too, but then she runs against him too. Like, so it's there's something more going on there. But Billie Eilish as well, right? She's part of this doomsday cult. This is where the ideologies get important, and seeing what are these people's belief systems, where do they align? And Vanity Fair is one of the biggest socialist outlets out there, with Billie Eilish, who I think is going to be at the Superb Owl ritual, the Super Bowl ritual, because her brother controls the intro to Apple TV, and Apple puts on the Super Bowl ritual, which are all interconnected. Here's just some more images of Sunset Boulevard. We've gone over this before in other podcasts, but just how they had all the camera scenes set up because she was this famous actress who murdered the guy in the drowning ritual. And then she had all the cameras set up for her, and she's got the Sanpaku eyes. And that's sort of like what just happened here with this guy with the Sanpaku eye. I'm trying to find where the picture is of all the news agencies just ready to take the pictures of their house. They're all outside their house. I don't know where that picture. Oh, right here. Look at this picture. This picture just shows it perfectly. It's like lights, camera, action. Look at all these cameras ready to film and monetize. Helpless Rob Reiner made chilling comment about son Nick. And you know what? Even like Nicki Minaj is sort of in the news now too. So there's like a lot of Nicks. Nicki Minaj. I think there's something there. I'm going to keep looking into it. I just pulled up all these articles just to go so it's not. And then our last podcast, we were talking about Castle Rock. I never watched Castle Rock before, but it went into the portals. And this guy, he's wearing a Castle Rock jacket. You can't see it there, but it says right there, Castle Rock. It's not the show, I don't think, but still, that's kind of weird. What else? Saint Nick. Oh man, yeah. So I'd like to know what y'all think about that. This was also weird, and shout out to Clint. He was saying it was weird because Spinal Tap 2 just was released. And Rob Reiner, it was part of, he created Spinal Tap, the first one, very funny. And then they released Spinal Tap 2, and then this ritual goes down with him. The end continues. America's job market just got some troubling news. The U.S. economy lost 100,000 jobs in October and added 64,000 jobs in November. The Bureau of Labor statistic reported Tuesday the unemployment rate rose to a 4-year high last month. Almost all economic reports from the Bureau of Labor of Statistics and Census Bureau have been delayed due to historically long federal shutdown. The October report now marks the first time in almost 8 decades, that's 80 years, that a monthly snapshot has not included the unemployment rate. The Census Bureau also reported October retail sales remained flat, the lowest reading in 5 months. So the plan is to collapse everything. That's the plan. But they got to pump it up, everything. It's called accelerationism, where you want to accelerate everything so it collapses. So I don't know what's going to happen in this year of the horse, but the plan, as we've seen the blueprints, they published their blueprints. It's to accelerate everything, accelerate all the beefs. That's why we're seeing such a high acceleration of drama and war and economic issues and all this stuff, because the plan is to accelerate everything into collapse. And then from that collapse, create Phoenix and create something new. That's the plan. Here's some mosh pit news. I think it's interesting just how the mosh pit, everyone moves in a circle, all different traditions do the circle ritual where they go around. I always thought that was interesting. And also it's something where people want to have physical touch as well. So they'll like wrestle and stuff. A lot of these guys, they're joining the wrestling and all that, because they want to be intimate psychologically. Avatar Fire and Ash review, James Cameron thrilling third trip to the Pandora universe. So James Cameron's releasing this new film that costs billions of dollars, and it's probably awful. But he's one of these submarine people looking for Atlantis as well. He goes down, he makes the Titanic movie, and the whole Titanic is connected to Atlantis. It's connected to the aristocratic elites of the Thule Society, creating like these UFOs and different technologies, and drowning Astor, who was funding Nikola Tesla research on the time traveling technologies. And then we saw that ritual goes out with the 5 different billionaires who died going to look into the Titanic. They were doing their trip to look at the Titanic. And here's Cardi B calling out Titanic billionaires, but she just took a bunch of the Saudi Arabia money recently. Everybody be projecting. But James Cameron, the submarine stuff's interesting with Atlantis, and the news coming out about the Bermuda Triangle. The big tobacco playbook comes for your Oreos. Oreos is the Knights Templars. It's black and white. So it's the checkerboard, right? But they got the Nazi Iron Cross and 12 of them around it and the double cross of Lorraine in it. So what's this about? A new lawsuit likens food companies to the tobacco industry, but it's much harder to do nothing about junk food than cigarettes. Okay. See, everything, you got to pay for everything now to see it. So we can't even read it. Look, it's the Atlantic. It's the Atlantis, the Atlantic. The true cost of the American dream, 1.8 million in lifetime debt. In a nutshell, the average American will pay off 1.8 million in debt between 18 to 78, covering mortgages, auto loans, student debt, and credit cards. Debt peaks twice. First at age 38. Okay, I'm almost 38, so I gotta freaking read this. Debt peaks twice. First at age 38 when buying a first home, then at age 61 with a second home purchase. Oh, well, shit. I'm nowhere near buying a freaking first home. What the heck? Okay, so geography matters enormously. Hawaiian residents face 2.5 million in lifetime debt, while West Virginia is just paying 1.3 million, 1.2. Okay. Kind of boring. But the higher side chats, shout out to the higher side chats. I don't know if you know this podcast, but they're huge. They're a huge, awesome podcast. And I'm going to be on their show. So look out for that. Very excited about that. Make sure to go subscribe to the higher side chats. Ooh, this is an interesting article right here. The space agencies are conducting the largest ever planetary defense drill with the 3i Atlas approaching. So this whole 3i Atlas thing was a simulation to see how people would react. A simulation drill is a controlled training exercise that mimic real world emergencies, like a alien invasion, to test and improve response plans, procedures, and team coordination in an environment, help identify weakness, refine skills, and build preparedness before an actual disaster strike. Now, this simulation has been being operated on. Why do you think everybody was sent home? Oh, my friend's calling me. Let me say, I'll call you back. Everybody gets sent home to their rooms in 2020. That was a simulation. And this whole 3i Atlas thing, the news saying the aliens are coming and all that, that was part of this simulation. And it's just continuing. So now they're telling us that the space agencies are conducting the largest planetary defense drill with this. So that's what this was all about. So the simulation isn't just happening now with, oh, what will we do? It was this whole news reports coming out and all that. Oh, this was interesting too. The shout out to Jacob Israel. Jacob Israel just posted this, and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta pull it up." The U.S. debt clock has posted a new cryptic message, and we're gonna look at it on the fly. So the U.S. debt clock, we just keep getting more in debt, more in debt, more in debt, and that's part of the acceleration. They want to accelerate everything into debt so high that it collapses. And the tech oligarchs want to implement Sharia banking and put everything on an asset-based economy. So what it is tokenizing assets and getting rid of the debt. But before they do that, they got to accelerate the debt before the great phoenixing. And everything will be monetized in a sense where everything will be a real world asset, even your breathing to every little piece of grass out there, a cow, a chicken, or whatever. Everything will be an asset on a ledger of the blockchain. So that's a big part of the wealth transfer in the long term run. But it's the great jubilee they're posting, and the symbols that they're showing. It's America, because it is the US debt clock, so of course it's America. They got the Jesus fish right there with an X on it. They got the crown at the top, which is the British Empire. The British Empire. If you look at all the symbols, the crown's always at the top, showing the monarchy of the British Empire. And right here looks like the Solomon's Temple, I believe. That's what it looks like. And this looks like the Antonian Fort. It's interesting. And then down here looks like a coin. And then if we keep going down more, you got the wheat fields, but it looks like it's the history of money, sort of, where, okay, look, right there. I'm seeing everything's connected to a chain, right? That's called the blockchain. So this goes along with everything I'm talking about. I wonder what this is, 21:2. Let me look that up. Must be like in the Bible. Let me take a look real quick. 21:2 Bible verse. 21:2 Bible verse. Psalms 21:2. There isn't one single 21:2. Proverbs 21:2. Okay. Oh, so there's Proverbs 21:2. A person's, let me just pull this up real quick for y'all. And while I pull this up, make sure to smash the like button, please and thank you. I appreciate that very much. Okay. So the popular ones include Proverbs 21:2. A person's ways seem right to them, but the Lord weighs the heart. Revelation 21:2. Seeing the new Jerusalem coming down like a bride. Ooh. Psalms 21:2. God granting the king's heart. So it seems like it's talking about Revelation 21:2, seeing the new Jerusalem coming down like a bride. Interesting. Where did I put that image? Oh, here it is. So you see all the assets are on this blockchain. You got gold on the chain. I don't know what that is. You got oil. I don't know what that is. What are these things? Coal, maybe? Corn? Foods? Wall Street? Robots? AI? And then down here is just like probably a quantum computer. What am I talking about? What's going on? So yeah, I was going to talk about the food stuff. Let me see what else is there. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to keep it short. I'll keep y'all updated. Thank you so much. Brandy Page 223 with the $5 super chat says, "Wicked smart secrets." Let's feed that kitty cat. Appreciate you. Feed that kitty cat. I'm going to go to comments real quick. The truth is disgusting. Aussie, shout out to Aussie girl. Thank you, coffee girl. Oh, Witzius is up in here. Shout out to Witzius. Witzius, thank you so much for your support. I smashed the like because I like the people in the chat. Yeah, shout out to the chat room. Smash, smash, smash. All right. Yeah, I'll keep y'all posted. You have a great day too. Be a light. That's the New Jerusalem in America. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Alrighty. Whoop whoop. Much love and God bless you.